Hello everyone! And it must be no surprise for you that recently we all got obsessed by the mysterious 10124 date, because literally, of all Skibidi analysts made their own videos about it with their own theories and suggestions about what it might mean. And I was no exception, so in my most recent video I gave you my own interpretation of it as well. But today I got more information about this date which opened up its mystery a little bit, so in this video I'm going to tell you even more stuff you guys would definitely like to know. What suspicious detail about this date did I not mention in my last video? How all of this is connected to different Skibidi multiverses? And what might actually be so special about episode 15 of Skibidi Toilet series and its connection to the 10124 date? If you want to know the answers to all these questions, then get your tea and snacks ready and prepare to watch this video to the end, because I saved the information no one else told you about in the second half of my video. Let's go! And be sure to also give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already, because I am making a lot of Skibidi content to entertain you guys in the moments when we all are waiting for the new episode to get released. Okay, so if you are subscribed now, let's continue. So you guys must already know from my last video that the mysterious date, which looks like 10124, started appearing in recent episodes of different Skibidi creators some time ago. But I didn't mention which was the earliest case of this date appearing on the screen and what other cases came next, so let's lay it out one by one, because it's going to be actually important. So one of the earliest times we could see this date happened about a month ago as Verlance published the first part of episode 107 of his Skibidi Wars multiverse, and we could see the numbers 10124 right in this scene on two white containers. And the very same date also appeared in the third part of the same episode which Verlance published just recently, but guess what? This time those numbers weren't placed on the container side, but on the half-destroyed building with the sign which then simply disappeared from our sight. And this will be pretty important later, so be sure to remember this detail. And then those numbers got back again, but this time in Skibidi Genesis Multiverse by Chasing Skylar, where we could notice the date in the forefront of the huge purple-colored screen. And right after that, one of my favorite Skibidi creators ever named Maxity released the first part of episode 12 of his Skibidi Saga Multiverse, where we could notice the very same numbers on the board of the giant ship this cameraman in a Skibidi toilet escaped from. And what's so interesting about this one case is how this ship was loaded with containers exactly which looked really similar to the containers from Verlance's multiverse, for example. But what is even more important, that it was Boom's universe originally where containers played quite a huge role, and I'll talk about it really soon. And of course, right after all this chain of mysterious date appearances, Dom Studio releases the compilation of all the episodes of Season 10 of his Skibidi Multiverse, which grabbed everybody's attention immediately. Because we see this date again right on our face, and it's being placed on the container doors which the big TV man stands near with. And this scene alone is a reference to episodes 66 and 76 of Boom's original Skibidi Toilet universe, where the big TV man was gathering the survivors from the battlefield to this exact container and then transported them to the safe spot. And it is a container exactly that was highlighted in Dom Studio's scene, just as in many other cases I just told you about. Seems a little bit suspicious, don't you guys think so? Well, at least that's what many other Skibidi fans noticed and thought about pretty heavily. So now let's talk about this whole container conspiracy and what I personally think about it. So the first thing that lots of people drew their connection to was the unresolved mystery with the container that Skibidi Toilet Universe featured quite a long time ago. And in case you forgot about this, let me refresh your memory a little bit. So in the third part of episode 70, Skibidi Scientist was put down for good, and G-Man didn't go to help him for some reason. And what was this reason exactly, we figured out by episode 71, which was telling us the G-Man story exactly, and what he had been busy with. So it turned out that he had to defend the mysterious container two Skibidi helicopters hastily flew away with. And it seemed like it was G-Man's special mission to protect this container at all costs. And I even made the separate video specifically about this container mystery months ago, where I suggested different theories about what might actually be inside this container. It was obvious to everyone that it had to contain something really important and valuable for the Skibidi army, considering how fast this container had been taken away from the Alliance forces. And it was so important that G-Man was focused on distracting the attention of the Alliance on himself from this container, and he didn't even have time to go help Skibidi Scientist. And months ago, I suggested that this cargo can most likely contain some sort of really useful materials or details that can be used by toilet scientists later for the creation of new and more powerful Skibidi. Or this cargo can store already built elite soldiers of Skibidi army who G-Man planned to save from this battle and use in the future a little bit later. And why I thought that it's very possible that this cargo might have contained some Skibidi living material exactly is that because the Alliance also used the same types of containers to transfer their soldiers, like in episode 66 that I already mentioned in this video. But now, when we saw more recent episodes of Skibidi Toilet with the whole Astro arc that has begun, this container conspiracy got more layers to it. So now it would be more logical to assume that this container actually had G-Man's private parts. Wait, the wrong phrase. So it contained G-Man's new Titans parts that should have been used by TV Man Scientist later in his improvements, so that Jimmy could handle any Astro Toilet in battle with no issue. Thus, we can actually assume that this whole 10124 date can be the date of the release of an episode where either G-Man would be solely featured in, or an episode that would reveal the true content of some mysterious container, because there were even more containers in recent episodes by Boom. But if this date was referring to containers solely, then why would these numbers could be seen on the screen in Skibidi Genesis Multiverse by Chasing Skylar? And why would these numbers then also appear on the sign of the building by Verlance, even though before that he placed this date on the containers as well? Maybe it was all just one big coincidence, and we made a huge deal out of it? Plus, there is another thing I would like to mention ASAP. Don't you guys forget how huge this whole hidden collaboration between Boom and the other Skibidi creators was, and something like this would definitely require a lot of time and efforts to put in to even make it come true. All this organized work and dealing with the secret date appearing in different episodes of different Skibidi creators, and all of that to just to highlight the container conspiracy, I still think that there must definitely be more to this whole case. And Skibidi Multiverse creators were not the only ones that helped to build up this hype. For example, all the members of Boom's management team also changed the description of their profiles to these exact numbers. So it was not only Boom who played along with it via his Steam account or personal Discord account. Sounds a little bit massive to just hint us about some containers. Don't you guys think so? Such a huge coverage can only be linked to something crazy. So it's either a hint to one of Boom's upcoming side projects or, as I said in my most recent video, some sort of collaboration between all the Skibidi multiverses. And if this is true, then it must also mean that Boom probably came to terms with Dom Studio, which is just crazy. And that's why this date was featured in Dom Studio's Skibidi Multiverse 2, even though Boom didn't really like the direction this fan-made was taking recently. But there is one more detail that I would like to share with you guys. And I actually learnt about this detail from two Russian Skibidi YouTubers, which Boom communicates with directly from time to time, and I'm talking about Armhav and Razorplay channels. So both of these creators messaged Boom on Discord and asked him about the real meaning behind the 10124 date. And of course, Boom answered to both of them in his own iconic style. By which I mean that he just sent them two meme GIFs, both of which were referring to episode 15 of his Skibidi Toilet series. Because Razorplay got the iconic Baba Booey meme, while Armhav got the GIF with this Skibidi Toilet, who threw the POV off the roof by the end of the episode. So can it contain some ultra-special secret meaning that can be hidden behind those GIFs? Or maybe we all should check the 15th episode once again, as some secret can be hidden in it that we didn't notice, but which can be linked to the most recent events from Boom's latest episodes. So if you guys have any ideas about all of this, then be sure to share your own opinion about it in my comments section, because I'm really interested in what you might have to say. And that was all for today. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and if you did, hit the like button below and also be sure to write a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube and Discord channels not to miss my new interesting videos. And that was me, ISOTOILET. See ya!